Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Business Today Television. It's the season for IPOs, and we have with us the management of DEE Development Engineers. This is a piping systems company which is launching a 418 crore rupee IPO, which is open for subscription from June 19th to June 21st. Joining us on the show is Mr. Shail Bansal. He is the chairman and managing director of DEE Development Engineers, and of course Mr. Sameer Agarwal, who's the CFO of DEE Development Engineers. Good afternoon to you both, gentlemen, and a very warm welcome on Business Today Television. I'll begin with you, Mr. Bansal. This 418 crore rupee IPO, which is priced between 193 rupees to 203 rupees per share, is open for subscription now. What are the issue proceeds going to be used for, which is about 325 crores, because the 93 crore rupee is the OFS in this IPO?
So, sir, thank you so much. We shall be using 175 crores out of this 325 crores for repayment of our debt, which stands at around 400 crores as of now. And 75 crores, we shall be using it as additional working capital. And rest 75 crores, we shall be using it for GCP, general corporate purposes.
Oh, okay. So, this is really good. It will help improve the profit and loss account because your interest costs will now fall. Coming to you, Mr. Agarwal, what was the interest payment for the full year of FY23 that DEE Development Engineers incurred, and after these issue proceeds are within the company, what will be the drop in annual interest payments?
So, during the FY23, the interest payment was around 30 crore rupees, and for the period 9 months, the interest component is around already 30 crores for the 9 months period. And post offer proceeds, we shall be reducing our debts by 175 crores. It will give us to save our interest cost to the tune of 18 crores odd rupees.
Okay. Fine. Now, let me just look at the numbers. Profit after tax for the 9 months ended December 2023 was 14 crore rupees. Do you think this will improve dramatically after interest costs go down by 18 crores? Mr. Agarwal, this is for you.
Yeah. So I have to take you little back, since you know the organization is having a legacy of 35 years and Mr. Bansal is a first generation entrepreneur. So whatever has been built till date has been clear set of earning throughout our history.
Okay.
So the numbers which you are referring to by and large impacted by the pandemic period, and going forward, since the capital cycle is on to which we belong, our business belong, and we are in the niche sector, and going forward, as we are enhancing our capacities by setting up our new facility at Numaligarh, which is near Guwahati, Assam, which we will serve customers in the northeast region of the country, and the another greenfield project which we are coming up at Anjar near Kutch, very near to the Kandla port. So both the facility shall bring lot of operational leverage, as well as since the Anjar facility is very closer to the port, it will bring down our logistics cost as well.
Okay.
And with both the things, we are definitely hopeful to have better margins.
Okay. Let me, for the benefit of the viewers, explain to them that DEE Development Engineers, it offers customized piping solutions through specialized processes to industries such as oil, gas and chemicals. And because we are in a capacity expansion mode in these sectors, automatically it's presumed that companies such as DEE Development will get better order books from its customers. Mr. Bansal, in very simple terms, can you please explain to our viewers what exactly does DEE Development do?
So if I have to tell you, sir, I will just give you an example that, nowadays, let us say we are buying a piece of furniture from IKEA or somebody else. They will supply you some components along with some drawings and other documents. And, based upon those drawings and documents from one location to another location. And when we say that it's for power plant or it's for process plant, that means it is connecting one equipment to the other equipment.
Okay.
I mean, one fluid will travel from one equipment to the other equipment. That equipment can be few meters away, or that equipment can be few kilometers away from the parent equipment. So that pipeline size, that piping size could be for few meters, or it could be for hundreds of kilometers, or many kilometers. So what we do is, based upon the locations of the equipments, based upon the configuration of the plant, we have to decide which route the piping has to follow, how it has to go up and down, how it has to take care of stress analysis, how it has to take care of the other engineering aspects, like support engineering and all those things. Based upon that, we decide what is to be done, how it is to be done, where the field joints are to be given. Considering that we are mandated to do around 70% of work in our workshops, and rest 30% is done at the construction site, where the contractor who is employed by our employer will do the job of their own. We are not responsible for any erection activities. We are just responsible for engineering, procurement, manufacturing, and supply.
Okay. So you are a subcontractor of a large contractor, and about 70% of the piping solution that you design and make is done in-house. The 30% is done on site. Am I understanding it correctly?
You are right, sir. Our major customers are OEMs or EPC players.
Okay. So companies such as ONGC, Oil India, Reliance Industries are some of the names which are your customers in the energy space. Is that right?
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Now let's come to a little more understanding of your business, Mr. Bansal. What is the order book that DEE Development has as of now? For the benefit of our viewers, I will just tell you the 9-month financial top line, which was about 546 crore rupees. What is the order book that you have, Mr. Bansal, in comparison with the sales number of 546 crores in FY23?
Yeah, I couldn't get your question rightly. Samir, if you have understood, can you respond to that?
I just wanted to understand what is the size of the orders so far.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm clear. So now let me come back. So, sir, as on 31st December, we have an order book of 828 crores of rupees, which is the highest order book in the history of our company, all through these years. And again, I will like to repeat one thing that, we never had any dearth of order at any given time except for the COVID period.
Yes.
So, whatever constraint we had been feeling, it has been due to the capacity. The capacity is limited. We cannot execute all the orders. So, and to make that happen, we have been growing rapidly and consistently and increasing our capacity. And that is the reason, we had put up our plant in Numaligarh, and we are building up a very big and greenfield plant in Anjar. That is the reason for that. So, our legacy is that there is never a dearth of order, and we have a fairly large order book as on date also.
Okay. Mr. Agarwal, getting you into the conversation, what is the capacity utilization of all the plants that you have so far? And what is the fresh capacity that you are adding at Numaligarh and Anjar?
So, till 2023 31st December, the overall capacity in the domain of process piping solutions, we had a capacity of 44,000 metric tons in India and 14,500 metric tons in Thailand. And the capacities which we have recently added, 6,000 metric tons in case of Numaligarh and 3000 metric tons in case of Anjar. So if we add all these capacities in India, at present we are having a capacity of 53,000 metric tons and 14,500 metric tons at Thailand. This is the capacity, and as far as capacity utilization is concerned, there is some mismatch in terms of, I would not say mismatch, I would request Mr. Bansal to explain it, why the capacity utilization is being seen lower, whereas we have actually utilized more than 100% of our capacity during the last fiscal, from our mother unit, which is situated at Palwal near Delhi.
Bansal Sahab,
So let me,
the ball is in your court.
yeah. I got the ball, sir, very well. So let me tell the sir that when we were doing power sector jobs and which we were doing primarily before 2015, all our IEMs are having a capacity in terms of metric ton, which is a prevalent unit of measure in case of power sector jobs, because in power sector jobs the weight is very large while the volume is comparatively much lesser. While when we switched over to oil and gas sector, there the volumes are very large, maybe 4 to 5 times larger than the power sector jobs, but the weights are comparatively lesser. So when we switched over to the oil and gas sector, the unit of measure changed from metric ton to dia inch of welding actually. And if we say that is the capacity, last year our designed capacity as per the IEM metric ton only, it works out to be around 18 lakhs dia inch of welding, which we should have been doing in the last year, while we did more than 28 lakh dia inch of welding in our facility. So that is why we are saying that, we have been doing work much more than what we can do. And that is the reason, we are going for expansion year on year.
Okay. Now let's focus on the working capital cycle, as also the inventory cycle. Yours is a very cash intensive business, Mr. Agarwal. I'd just like to understand this receivables number of 99 days. Do you think this will improve after your IPO, and as also on inventory at about 181 days? One can understand you are in a very B2B kind of a business where you stock up on a lot of raw materials. Will these two numbers improve because of IPO proceeds?
Definitely, sir. Uh, just like to tell you, the because of inherent nature of our business, since our raw material is very specific, the raw material are actually being seamless pipes, which we need to import from different part of the world. For example, we are importing the pipes from US, China, European region, and from everywhere. In India also, we are buying materials from vendors like JSW or ISMT or Maharashtra Seamless. So this pipe raw material, it is not a commodity which is readily available.
Yes.
And since we are working on projects, we have to ensure the completeness of the raw material
Okay.
at our premise before we complete the job. Just to have the completeness of raw material, the it is the inherent nature of the business. The inventory number of inventory days are bit higher than that of a standard business. So
Okay.
since we are enhancing our capacity, therefore there would be a more processing at our different facility, which will definitely bring down some of the inventory days. And as far as the data cycle is concerned, the numbers which you are looking at, these are basically number impacted by the COVID period. And since we belong to capital cycle, the cash flows of capital projects company have become normal at this point of time after COVID period. And since there is a huge pressure to execute the projects in a limited time, therefore the payments from customers will definitely improve over a period of time.
Okay. My final question, and this is to Mr. Bansal. Sir, you are cash flow positive each year over the last 3 years, but what is a little worrying is the low level of ROE, return on equity, and the return on capital employed. You know, they are in single digit, very low numbers. Do you think there is scope for improvement for ROCE and ROE over the next 2-3 years?
So there is a huge scope for that. As Sameer was telling, all these numbers are basically impacted by the effect of COVID. If you see our number historically, way back from 2015 to earlier periods, we had been doing very well, and all those numbers have been in double digit and something like that. And similarly, as we have taken remedial action for relocation of our plant for oil and gas jobs, and our present plant is around 1600 kilometers away from our nearest port of dispatch, and we are doing 50% export and 50% import is there. So, there is likely to be huge impact in terms of all of our bottom lines and EBITDA levels and corresponding to that, ROC levels and all those things. So that's going to be definitely there. There's no doubt about that, sir.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll just end this discussion. Mr. Bansal and Mr. Agarwal, very sincere congratulations to you and all the good luck for a wonderful listing for DEE Development Engineers. It's good to have you on the show, and let's hope you become regulars for your quarterly results updates. We'll be visiting your plant shortly at Palwal and see how exactly these steel pipes work, and what a wonderful job you are doing. Thank you so much for your time, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
This, ladies and gentlemen, was the management of DEE Development Engineers. The IPO is open between June 19th and 21. The pricing is 193 to 2003 rupees. The size of the IPO is 418 crores, out of which 325 crores will be used to repay debt and improve the working capital cycle. Thank you so much for joining us on these lovely discussions on IPOs that are open. I hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as I did. Stay glued to Business Today Television. There's lots on the anvil.
Vodafone Idea and also Indus Towers together, with the kind of divestment from the parent group that is likely in trade today. How should one be really viewing this development for both, in respect of both these stocks, sir?
Well, honestly, first of all, please address me as Gaurang Sakshi. It's my humble request. Please don't add that sir behind it. It's a humble request. And even to Shail also, I mean, Shail, of course, is a good friend. He always addresses me as Gaurang. It's a request to you. So, for Vodafone Idea, हृदय और मन परिवर्तन हुआ है. I'll put it this way, because earlier we were on the sell side, then we had dropped the coverage because we have got our sell side downside targets, and we had then had no coverage over there. But post the FPO Sakshi at 11 rupees, let me give a disclosure that on the FPO we had given a subscribe at 11 rupees from a long term point of view, and currently we are maintaining a hold, if I'm not mistaken, on Vodafone Idea. My sincere well wishes will be there with the management of Vodafone Idea, that they come out of this debt trap that they are into, and they lighten up their balance sheet by garnering funds from the market or otherwise, whatever sources are available at their disposal. And I'm also of the opinion that it is absolutely not advisable to have a duopoly as far as the cellular service sector is concerned in India, because we have a huge base. 2, 3, 4 players would be very healthy in terms of competition, and that will be also